So are we live? We should be live. Yes, we are. We are live.
Okay. Yep, we are live. You carry on.
Yeah. So we will follow him through the first lap. He's now warming up his tires. Into the hairpin in the third sector, and he should start his hot lap. Montreal, of course, it's very easy to invalid, so we will have many tries to make a good lap here. So Trill Stop Pro now. Yeah, for sure. We will see. So Trill Stop Pro starts his lap into the first chicane.
That's interesting. Kevin's on the hard tyres in the Haas.
Yeah.
On his home circuit as well.
That's an interesting strategy. We will see. If it works, it may be good. Trill Stop Pro meanwhile is in the third chicane on the track. Now onto the DRS straight. And into the another chicane on track.
Kevin, that was very twitchy.
Trill Stop Pro goes quite slow, so he probably made a mistake. So we will switch to Sion Hammer. He's just behind him in the second sector. He's now going into the hairpin, the slowest place on track.
On the hards as well, so there's a couple of drivers on the hards.
Many types of strategies. Sion Hammer now opens the DRS. We have the first time on the board. It's Trill Stop Pro, of course. 114. Yes, Sion Hammer rounds the final chicane. And
well, we saw someone come down here yesterday do a 107.
Oh, meanwhile Sion Hammer makes 111.6 and Sever is just behind him.
Kevin's just coming. Oh, he's going into the pit lane.
Oh, and Ferry. Yeah, very nice lap.
What's he in, an Alpha, isn't it? Yes, he's on the medium tyres. He's on an Alpha. Yeah,
there is also one of Ferraris crossing the line. A second behind Ferry. 110.7 for Carly Red.
Young Lex is in that? No, he's no Williams. He's just doing his flying lap now.
Yep, and there is also Kruche in McLaren finishing his lap. He crosses the line and the Polish driver gets into P5. And there is also Trill Stop Pro improving. And he goes into second place.
110 dead.
110 dead, yeah. Interesting time. Also Sever improving by 0.8 of a second. He's now in fourth place.
Yellow flag of 6-1.
Yes, and so he has to make another one. One of the Red Bulls, Maverick, is starting his hot lap, and both Williamses are closing to the finish line. First to cross the line will be Sweetcrown, and Sweetcrown goes into P3, our Monaco winner.
110.3 for Young Lights goes third.
Yes, and he's on hards, so and he's faster than his teammate on softs. So this could be interesting.
The only person I'm worried about is Crunchy with that 114.1. He's probably the one to worry.
Yeah, he's now going into the last corner, so but he's coming into the pits. I thought that he's gonna do another lap, but he's coming into the pits, and just behind him is Seb 5. who is now on the start-finish straight, and he now crosses the line and he goes first.
108. Wow.
Another second ahead of Ferry.
Now Kevin's coming back out and he's on the medium compound tyres now.
Yes, and he started his lap.
Yeah, I'm with him, I'm on board with him.
And there is also Maverick getting P8 in Red Bull, 111.2.
The track's still evolving though, isn't it? So these times will come down eventually.
Yeah, we've got still 11 minutes to go in this qualifying session, so we should see some improvement here.
See what Kevin can do in the Haas. We've got two in the pit lane at the moment.
Yeah, and we've got also Jonathan Cox getting P2. So
wow,
nice job for Racing Point here. And he's just 2 tenths behind Seb. So the fight for pole position may be interesting here.
What's Kevin's time?
Kevin's time is
109.7.
Yes, and nice time for Haas also. Maverick comes into the pits, so we will follow Frekis, who is on a back straight, on the longest straight on this track. Of course, DRS is opened. Last chicane, Wall of Champions. Quite good drive through there.
With someone with Jim's driving the Red Bull.
And now he can. What? Can you?
10-1.
Okay.
Put some 6. 14 drivers. Okay.
14.
So the only person at the moment who needs to improve their time will probably be Crunchy.
Yes, and we are also waiting for Jim Stroh. He's the only driver.
Yeah, he's just coming. He's on his outlap. He's just come through sector. He's coming from round 6 to 3 now. Because I'm on board.
Yes, and meanwhile, Sean Hammer, I didn't know how to read his name, but he gets P10 at the moment, 110.7. And so let's switch to Jim Stroh. He's on mediums, and he's starting his first hot lap here.
Yep. Comments in this says that it's Kevin's home race. So
yeah, so he wants a good result here.
He definitely needs a good result. Yes, definitely. I will agree. Just to let everybody know tonight that the Chinese virtual Grand Prix is on this evening, and also would like to pass our condolences on to the family of Sir Sterling Moss, who passed away at the age of 90.
Yeah, unfortunately, we lost a great racer.
Yellow flag in sector 3. It's an Alfa Romeo going slow.
Yes, but he was just letting Jim Stroh go, and the Red Bull got just one more chicane to go, and we should see his time if he won't make any mistakes here. Nice and smooth, and now he's crossing the line, and Jim Stroh gets P7. P7.
So at the moment, the guy to beat is GFO Seb.
Yeah.
108.7.
And he's meanwhile on our pole sitter is meanwhile on his hot lap, and he's improving by 1/10 after first sector. He's now going into this chicane. Oh, a little bit slide there. He's now finishing the second sector, and he's improving still by 1/10. So Jonathan will have harder work to do to beat the Renault. Now if Seb won't do any mistakes in the last chicane, he should maintain his lead here in this qualifying session. Now the last chicane. close to the wall and he's crossing the line, and he didn't improve.
No,
he lost. He lost in the third sector. Yeah.
He lost 3 temps as he crossed the line.
Unfortunately, but there's also our Haas driver has hit the wall of champions, unfortunately.
Jonathan's just doing his flying laps now.
Yes, he's starting, so we'll see if he can beat Seb.
What is the gap? It's 1.1 tenth of a second. 1,000.
Yeah, so he needs 1/10 of improvement here.
A lot of improvement, so.
After first sector,
he's sector 1.
Yes.
Not by much, but he's quicker.
Now into the chicane he goes, and now we should see his time after 2 sectors.
2 tenths.
Yeah, so that's the time he needs. Now no mistakes in sector 3. Oh, and he's slowing down, so I don't know what did he do, but that's a strange situation, and I don't have an information that he invalidated his lap or something.
He has invalidated the tracks, Red.
Okay.
He invalidated it somewhere.
And I can't see it on my minimap, so.
Well, on my mini-map it was showing he invalidated it, so...
Okay.
Let's just double check.
Okay, so he's starting another lap, so let's hope that he can make a smooth lap now.
I can confirm the last lap he invalidated.
Okay, so I didn't saw it. So, and meanwhile we had Maverick improving. He's now up into P8. Just ahead of his teammate. So let's switch to Jonathan again.
Very slow Alfa Romeo coming down turn 1.
Jonathan meanwhile still improves by nearly 3/10 of a second, and he still has got 1 straight and 2 corners to go. He has a slipstream of drivers in front of him, but is it gonna be enough ERS to finish this lap?
Ferrari moves out of his way.
Yes, the last chicane, no mistakes, I hope. And now Jonathan is crossing the line, and he gets first.
1.84, yes, he did improve. 4 tenths of a second.
Fantastic result for him.
But Seb is out on an out lap.
Yeah, so he is gonna have 1 more chance, and I don't think that Jonathan is gonna have enough time to make another lap.
No, because you've got to get round in 2 minutes.
Yeah. Many drivers are on hot laps. Who is the closest one to cross that? We've got a crash in the Wall of Champions. It's Young Lights?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Young Lights.
I just saw it as Seb was coming around the corner.
Yeah, so the first victim of Wall of Champions here today. Trill Stopper is also finishing his lap, but he's going really slow through the last chicane. But he's now crossing the line, and he improves, and he gets 4th place. Yes, and there's also Kruche starting his last hot lap, and Carly Red is finishing his lap, but I don't think if he didn't cut the corner there, but he didn't improve anyway. Sweet Crown is also on a hot lap, and he gets P3.
Nice, 1:08.9, yes.
On a mediums. So nice time.
Seb's just coming down the back straight.
Yeah, so let's watch him. Last chicane, he's improving by 5/10 after 2 sectors.
6 tenths. Improved it by 6 tenths of a second.
Yeah, that was a very good lap. And a very good battle for pole position in this qualifying session. We will see if Jonathan Cox maybe is gonna be able to get out on track, but I don't think so.
No, not with 1 minute 40 remaining. Let's see what Crunchy can do in this McLaren. He is dead last at the moment, 4 seconds off the pace behind Soulhammer, or Sionhammer.
Unfortunately, no improvement here. But maybe he's gonna go for another try, but no. Or maybe yes. we will see. Sever is going into the pits, and Maverick is starting his last lap.
Seb's still on an out lap, by the way. Oh, I've just realised Crunchy's got hardly no fuel in the car.
Oh, so he's not gonna make it, so he's gonna stay in that last, unfortunately. We've got still actually 1 minute to go in this qualifying. What happened?
Curly needed to put the Ferrari in the wall. Alpha 7th and 8th, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and they are still on outlaps, so they still may improve. Ferry is just behind Kruchy.
Well, Curly's done. He's not going to improve. He's gone into the pits. Jim Strab's just crossing the line now. Kevin's got retired. So
in
he's
first sector.
6.
So he's gonna be 6 at best, but he hit the wall.
Yeah, I can see him now.
And Ferry also invalidated his lap, so there won't be any improvement.
Yeah, I saw him. Yeah, he's on that corner. Yeah, not the best way to hit it, but let's see what Jim Strab can he improve. Seb's retired, so he's obviously happy with that pole position.
Yeah, and there is also Young Lights, but he isn't improving, so he's only crossing the lines to finish this qualifying session. We've got Jonathan on hot lap. He isn't improving after first, so he managed to get out on track. Line? Yes, so that's interesting. He had just enough time, but he needs 3 tenths up, and let's see how is it gonna look after 2 sectors. He clipped the grass at the exit of that corner, but he's improving. But that's not enough.
1:09.9 for Jim Strab, puts in P8.
Yes, and there is also Frekis, but he isn't improving. So we'll follow Jonathan Cox to the end of his lap, because he's the only driver to change the classification here. He's now.
No, there are a few other drivers racing. Phil Pro is still. East is coming down the back straight now, and obviously Young Lights. So 2 of them are not finished. He smacked his.
he made a Magnussen. He made Magnussen from the real F1.
He done a Magnussen. He done a Magnussen.
And so we are still waiting for Kruchy. He's in the hairpin. And I don't know what is he doing. And that interesting thing is that
the only person not to finish is Crunchy.
Yes, and he's still rolling into the pit lane probably. And the interesting thing is that Jonathan. Yes, and Jonathan improved himself by 3 tenths, but he invalidated his lap, so it didn't count.
That's a shame. You've got a very slow driving McLaren.
Yeah. So what is he gonna do? Is he gonna go into the pit lane, or he hasn't got fuel?
Yeah,
so
he's coming in. He's coming in.
Yeah. So that's the end of qualifying here in Canada. So Seb 5 gets the pole position here. Just behind him will be Jonathan. Then we've got both Williamses, Sweet Crown on mediums, and Young Lights also on mediums.
Softs. It's a softs on here.
Softs, but I'm looking at the best result, and it shows that he has done his best lap on mediums. So I don't know.
Yeah. but he was actually on the softs when he crashed out, I think.
Yeah.
So
We will see at the start of this race, so that's the end of qualifying.
that's it. Frickquist is 9th.
Yeah, so we are now waiting for this race. Maybe some rain.
So we've got Seb, Jonathan, Sweet Crown, Young Lights, Pro, Kevin, Ferry, Jim, Frickquist, Maverick, Sabir, Curly Red, Sohammer and Crunchy. 0.3 of a second separate Seb and Jonathan.
Yeah. And another 0.5 separates Jonathan and Sweet Crown, but the Williams driver is on mediums. So they are gonna have an advantage in the...
That's a good result for Williams, 3rd and 4th. Disappointing from Ferrari P12, but...
Unfortunately. But maybe the strategy will be better.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. We'll see what happens. That is, after all, the race is different from qualifying as ever. Apparently Jonathan done a 108 dead and he invalidated his lap time.
Yeah.
Just waiting for everybody.
Yeah, it's 10 seconds to go to the formation lap. And so let's hope for an interesting race here.
How many of the 14 drivers will actually finish? Is the question. Right.
We will see.
Put that on.
And so let's switch into tires. The top 10 is of course on the tires they choose for the qualifying. 3 Pro on softs, the Haas and Alpha on mediums, and then Jimstro, Freckis and Maverick on softs. And the outside of top 10 is Sever and Carly Red on mediums, and the last two Sjonhammer and Kruche are on softs here.
So no tyre changes.
Yeah, no tyre changes here. And so let's see how he's gonna Seb do on the start, and maybe if Jonathan can say something about this. He showed in qualifying that he may match their pace of Renault. So we will see.
I'm interested to see what Kevin can do from 6 on his home circuit.
Yeah, let's show him maybe, but this camera angle isn't that good actually, so we will see.
God, Seb's a long way ahead. That's the problem. If you're going to lead that far, your tyres are going to. Oh, Kevin's on the back on the starting grid. He must have clipped someone. Problem is, if you're that far ahead, your tyres are going to go dead cold.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, maybe Kevin actually didn't wanted to wait for the start of the race, so he overtook everyone.
Here we go.
Here we go. Yes. So commentate.
1, 2, 3, 4 lights, and we are racing here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Or not quite.
Not quite.
Now we
and now we're off. There was a bit of a delay. There was a bit of a delay with the lights. I did notice that yesterday. There is a light glitch. So.
Oh, Sweet Crown spins, and Sjonhammer hits it. We've got a carnage on the first corner.
Big accident.
Yes. Many wings flew away.
Safety car! We have a safety car!
Safety car, yes. So,
it's Sweet Crown!
Sweet Crown, yeah, Sweet Crown spun on the first corner, to be honest, and look what Kevin did. He's now up into P4. after the start, 2 positions up for him.
Jim Strav's just got a penalty. So we have a
Yeah.
safety car on the first lap.
We wanted carnage, and
Kevin
here
vote
we
from
got.
6th to 4th.
Yes.
Whoa! Severe's got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags.
That's interesting. So many drivers will come into the pits to change their front wing. And what is Silhammer doing? He's spinning Jim Straw around in the hairpin. He probably showed his frustration about the crash in the first corner or something.
And he just picked up a penalty as well.
Yeah, so we will see how many drivers are gonna go into the pits. So we've got Sion Hammer and Carly Red. Trilly Stopro stays on track. Maverick, it's Jim Straw in the pits. Same as Kruche and also, of course, Sweet Crown. So not the best start for this side of Williams, unfortunately. After such a good qualifying, he now has to change his front wing, and he's gonna be dead last in this race. And meanwhile, at the front of the grid, we've got, of course, Sepp, who had a lightning start, and Jonathan, who also maintained his position.
So Sweet Crown has dropped 12, but has dropped 11 places.
Yeah. So one mistake, or actually, I don't quite know what happened there. Did he spin
no, I didn't see
by
it,
himself?
So I didn't see the incident.
Yeah, me neither. So yes, we are now following the safety car, and same as it was in Baku. It was also the first or the second lap of the race.
It was in Baku. Yeah.
So we are now waiting for the pack to bunch up again, and we will go racing. We will do another lap of behind the safety car for sure. There is also a shame for Jim Straw, who lost 6 positions on the start, but he was also, of course, involved in this carnage because he just went straight into the Sweet Crown, who was going backwards. Carly Red and Sunhammer are sweeping positions, and there is also a Mercedes going slowly. And Carly Red gets a 5-second time penalty, same as Sion Hammer. So a little bit of carnage behind the safety car, and there is also Jim Straw getting a penalty. So yeah, we should see if safety car is coming in this lap. Let's hope for this. And no, oh, yeah, actually yes, okay. So safety car is in this lap, so we go racing again. And so Sepp has to make a good restart to maintain his position, and Jonathan has to make more than Sepp to get a position here.
Sorry about that, I'm back.
Yeah, no problem. You are just in time for the safety car to come. Yeah.
Safety car's coming in, is it?
And many penalties again, Carly Red, and I don't know who get a penalty behind, but yes.
I'll have a look.
Many penalties, and meanwhile we've got a restart, so Sep5 is getting away again, and he has got a big advantage. Kevin unfortunately lost it in the chicane, and Frank is also getting involved. What is happening here? Wall of Champions, 3 victims, and Switchcam is also...
Seb's got a penalty for clashing with Jonathan. Oh, Kevin's gone!
Kevin is gone, 3 drivers are gone, unfortunately. And we've got We haven't got safety car, but
Back in 1 minute.
okay, no problem. We've got a fight for the first position between three drivers, and there is Jonathan hitting Seb into the back, and he's also losing a position to Young Lights. So the Racing Point has got damage on his front wing. Unfortunately, there is also Sweetcrown overtaking Sever, who also has damage. And so let's be back for the battle in the front. So there's Young Lights, who is gonna try to fight with for the lead. And there is also Jonathan making mistake going onto the grass. Fer is also close behind him, so it's 4-car battle for the lead. And so Young Lights has got fresher tires than, maybe not fresher, but his tires are gonna be faster and faster than Seb's. And Ferry gets the fastest lap of the race, and Maverick gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So another 3 drivers in the pits. So we had a big carnage there on the restart. Unfortunately for Kevin, he made a mistake and he hit the wall of champions, and he caused this carnage. So both Frekis and Sion Hammer are out of this race at the moment. So only 11 drivers on the grid. Maybe not on the grid, but in this race at the moment. So Seb 5 still maintains his position, but Young Lights is just behind him, and he's gonna be gaining some tenths of a second in the future. Same as also Ferry, because he's also on mediums. We've got Trill Stopper still going also behind the top 3. This is currently the only battle on this track, and it's the battle for the victory. DRS enabled for the first time in this race. Sweetcrown gets the fastest lap of the race, 1:11.8 at the moment. But we are only 5 laps into this race. Young Lights is still chasing down Seb, same as Ferry, who is still gaining on these 2.
That's why I say you always age is just enough.
Seb, no! So our leader is out of this race, and we've got a safety car. What is going on here in this Canadian Grand Prix here in ERL? 4 drivers out already after 6 laps of racing, and one of them is our leader and our pole sitter. So carnage, and so Jonathan is now in P6 after his contact with Renault. And we've got Trillistow Pro using the safety car as an opportunity to pit, and he's now going on to the mediums or hards. No, it's hards. So yeah, so he may go to the end of this race on these tires, but he has to look after them to make sure they won't blow out. And so 10 drivers is still in this race. So everyone who is gonna finish this race is gonna get points. Even Kruchy, who is unfortunately losing much time to the rest of the grid. He's the only guy on softs at the moment. And so the second safety car in only 7 laps.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I don't want them to get too quick where they get with it if they get
And so we have to wait again to go racing again.
Yeah. The way this thing was seeing that gun boarded up. I was like, really?
And so in this occasion we've got both Williamses on the podium again. As you may remember, Sweet Crown spun on the first corner of this race, and he is now recovering well, and he's now back on the place where he started. Am I correct? Yes, I am. He's now back in P3. These first 8 laps were also good for Ferry, who is 5 positions up, and of course for Young Lights, who is up of 3 positions. And so is safety car coming in this lap? Unfortunately no. Or actually yes, because we get a race control here. And so we go racing again. Oh, so another restart, another leader. This time it's Young Lights in Williams. And so safety car is coming into the pits, and Young Lights is waving on the whole track. And now we go racing on the full throttle. We go, oh, and Sweet Crown, Young Lights, sorry, nearly did the same thing as Kevin. He hit the wall of champions there, and we got another victim of wall of champions. Sweet Crown is overtaking Ferry, same as Jonathan Cox is overtaking Trill Stopper, but not quite, and he spins into the first corner and he hits one of the, it was Mercedes, I think, so Kruche is now just behind the racing point. So carnage in this race again, and Ferry also nearly getting into the back of Sweet Crown. Sweet Crown got a little bit slide into this chicane. We've got again a four-car battle for the lead. We've got also a battle in the back. We've got the 3 drivers battling for P6. It's Maverick Sever and also Carly Red. But we will follow the fight for the victory, because we've got both Williamses on the front, on the first 2 positions, and it's Sweet Crown chasing down Young Lights. We've got also Sever switching places with Maverick. They are going side by side into the chicane, into the wall of champions they go. We've got also the second battle between the Ferrari and the Racing Point. And so there is in front Maverick cutting the chicane, overtaking Sever, and Sever loses 3 positions there. And Jonathan is following Maverick, maybe into the first corner, not quite, no moves there. He didn't want to risk. And so let's switch to Jim Stroh. Ferry gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings for cutting corners probably. And so there is still battle. Maverick is ghosting. And so Jonathan didn't want to overtake him because it was too dangerous. But maybe now he had a better exit out of this turn. And so now into the braking zone they go. Jonathan has got the inside line and he gets this position, but he also cuts the corner and he gets the P6. There is still battle at the back of the Racing Point. Ferrari and Mercedes are going side by side into the hairpin, but now Sever may make a nice switchback, and he does it, and he overtakes Carly Red.
Yeah, no, I'll get a bus.
And so still no DRS. DRS is enabled now by Sweet Crown, who is leading this race ahead of his teammate, and it looks like the Williams is getting away. One of the first Williams is getting away. So very nice race at the moment we've got. Many battles here. Kruche is unfortunately losing many seconds to the rest of the grid, but he's now getting 1 point at least. Be battling as they were through the first 11 laps. We've got Sever trying to overtake Maverick. Down the inside he goes into the chicane, but Maverick defends brilliantly. And so Sever is now under pressure of Curly Red. But Curly Red hasn't got enough pace to overtake the Sever, but he gets into the front, goes into the back of the Mercedes, and he damages his front wing, so he has to pit for the fresh tires. And so Curly Red isn't going to the pits, so he stays on the circuit. But it's gonna be hard to still battle with the two in front of him. So Sever is still close to overtake Maverick. They are going into the chicane. Maverick defended at the last lap, but in this lap it's Sever who may get on top of Red Bull, and he gets it around the outside in this chicane. He pushed Maverick a little bit out of the track, but he gets this position, and now he's up into P7. And now Maverick is under pressure of Ferrari. My accent is terrible, I know. But now Curly Red, they are going onto the back straight. But Curly Red hasn't got the pace, and he hasn't got front wing to fight with the Red Bull. Jonathan with a 3-second time penalty. He is losing 3 positions to the Toro Rosso of 3 Stowpro. And so Maverick trying to break the slipstream through the start-finish straight. And so Curly Red still close to Maverick. But is he gonna be able to overtake the Red Bull? It looks that he's fighting with his car, that his car is broken, but he has to he still has to make some laps on these tires to then switch to hards and go to the end. We are on lap 14 out of 35 in this race. Maverick gets a penalty for multiple warnings, and meanwhile we've got a fight for P2 between Young Lights and Ferry. It's Alpha who is chasing down the Williams. Young Lights isn't able to match his teammate's pace, and so that makes him under pressure of Ferry. Ferry who is consequently gaining positions from the start, and he's now close to overtaking the second place. They are now going onto the back straight. Ferry is gonna have a DRS, but he's not close enough. We've got a yellow flag, and it's Curly Red who is out of this race, so he spun on the curb probably. And we've got Young Lights in the pits, so he's gonna feed the hards probably, and he's gonna try to go to the end, and he's trying to undercut Ferry, because Ferry was putting him under pressure. And now what is gonna Alpha do? Because he's 5.5 seconds behind Sweet Crown. We've got also Jonathan Cox in the pits. They are of course changing onto the hards. There was Sever going at the back side of the track. I don't know, maybe this was a mistake, or maybe a contact with Young Lights. But he has got the whole front wing. so no contacts probably.
He didn't actually say who was actually covering for him, because I didn't.
And so Ferry is still losing time to Sweet Crown. Sweet Crown shows his pace, shows that he's the fastest man on track, and same situation we had in Monaco, where he was also remarkable, and he was just pulling away from everyone. And Ferry goes into the pits, and so is Young Lights gonna overtake the Alpha? Are you with me now? Hello? Okay, never mind. And so Young Lights is has undercut Ferry, but Sever isn't able to overtake the Alpha, and Alpha came out on softs. So that's an interesting strategy, but maybe it will work. He is now 3 seconds behind Williams, but he has got fresher and faster tires, so he may chase him. We've got also Kruchy in the pits, and Sweet Crown still leads the pack with 10-second advantage above the Jimstrow in second. No battles currently. The closest one is Maverick versus Sever, and the fight for P6. So the track looks a little bit calmer now. Young Lights gets the fastest lap of this race. We've got also fight for P2 again between Trilstopro and Jimstrow. The Toro Rosso is closing in on Red Bull. And same, Maverick is closing on Sever, but has he got damage on his front wing? Yes, he has. So unfortunately he made a mistake, and so he will now be losing time. He was gaining on Mercedes, but now unfortunately he has to pit, and he's gonna fall behind Jonathan. Kruchy at the back, he's just driving to get any points. He's now getting 2 points actually, so it's a nice result anyway. And so we will see if Trilstopro can chase Jimstrow ahead of him. He has got fresher tires, and his hearts are gonna be much faster now. We've got both Maverick and Sever in the pits. Sever did his 5-second time penalty, and Maverick is changing his front wing, so, and he also probably had a penalty. So yeah, so still Red Bull comes out behind the Mercedes. And there is also Young Lights behind Trilstopro and Jimstrow. The Williams driver is gonna be gaining on these two. Unfortunately, Ferry hasn't got the pace to chase Young Lights at the moment. He's losing time, but maybe he's loading the battery. Jimstrow and Sweet Crown, our leader, are coming into the pits, and Sweet Crown goes onto the softs. Jimstrow goes on to the mediums. Yes, he is. And so Sweet Crown, is it gonna be his only stop here in this race? He's coming out behind Ferry, 2 seconds behind the Alpha. And so Jimstrow is gonna come out behind Jonathan probably. Yes, he is. And so we are now gonna watch the fight between Sweet Crown and Ferry. Ferry on softs. We will see if this strategy will work and if they will be able to go to the end on these tires. And so Tristopro and Young Lights are fighting for the victory here, for the P1. Young Lights overtook Torroso into the hairpin, but now Tristopro has got a slipstream, but Young Lights has got DRS, so we won't see any moves here. Into the chicane they go. Tristopro gets a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately same as Ferry, and so Young Lights is now gonna get away from the rest of the grid, and we will see if Sweet Crown can chase him down. He's now fighting with Ferry for the P3. Young Lights with a 3-second time penalty. And so Sweet Crown is really close. He's much faster than the Alpha. They are now going onto the DRS straight. Maybe we will see a move here. Sweet Crown is closing. He's close, but not close enough. He is gonna wait. He's gonna wait. One corner to go, and he has got the longest straight on track. Into the hairpin they go. Now Sweet Crown wants a good exit out of this turn. I don't know if he touched the back of Ferry, but now they are going side by side, and look at the pace advantage as Sweet Crown gets the DRS and Ferry hasn't got any chances here. So now into the chicane they go. Ferry probably got a warning for this move, for this cutting the chicane, and so Sweet Crown is also closing in on Tristopro, who is on 14 laps old hearts, so this move should be even easier than on Ferry. Tristopro, who was leading this race for 1 lap, is now under pressure of second Williams, and he's now gonna lose his second place. Now Sweet Crown opens the DRS, and he's now overtaking the Toro Rosso. So we've got both Williamses again on the top, and now Ferry is also fighting with the Toro Rosso driver. Around the outside he goes onto the hairpin, but not quite, but he's now making a beautiful switchback, and onto the back straight they go. Ferry is gonna have DRS, and now Tristopro hasn't got any chances, so he falls into P4 in just 1 lap, from P1 to P4. And Ferry with another time penalty, and so we will see if Sweet Crown can overtake his teammate. He has got fresher and faster tires. We've got still 14 laps to go in this race, and the fight for victory is gonna get interesting in a few laps. Currently this will be the only battle on track. Ferry has got damage. Ferry has got damage on his front wing, so I think that I found the reason why he wasn't able to chase Young Lights. So unfortunately, but he's still going, and he's still getting away from Tristopro, so he may get the podium still here. And look at this, how Sweet Crown is gaining on his teammate. He's now a second behind Young Lights. And so he's now under the second, so he's gonna have DRS on the next straight. Both Williams 1-2. Who would think this will happen someday? So Sweet Crown has got the pace to pass Young Lights, and he's gonna probably do it on this straight. He's very close. He's opening the DRS. Young Lad it doesn't defend, so Sweet Crown retakes his lead. And so I think that's the end of the battle for the win here. 12 laps to go. Sweet Crown gets the fastest lap of this race, 1:10.8. And so here we are. We have to hope for a safety car to get this race more interesting. Are you with me?
Well, that's better. People now can hear me. I had my mic on mute. Duh.
Okay. So you're back. Just as the...
Sorry about that, guys. I do apologise. I had my mic on mute for like 10 minutes. Well, I've lost a lot of drivers.
No.
According to Jonathan in the chat, he said Seb stopped on the corner.
Yes, it was strange.
Well, it will have to be. Well, as I'm going to say, any instances will have to be submitted, and it will be looked at.
Yeah, for sure.
We have got 11 laps, 10 laps, sorry. Now.
Yeah, 10 laps to go, and the fight for victory looks like that it's ended, because Sweet Crown is now getting away.
1-2. That's unbelievable.
Yes, I also said it as. Yeah,
that's
continue.
a long time since we've seen a double podium from this constructor.
Yes, and now it's their time to shine. Last week they had. Yes, because
it's a 1-2.
Yes, it's the 1-2.
I can let you know Ferry won't finish third. He has 21 seconds in penalties.
And how many penalties has got Trilstow Pro?
I'll have a look.
$21 seconds.
It's 21 seconds, yeah. I know Young Lights has got a few. Jim's Trav has got one. Sweet Crown does have a 5-second penalty.
Is he?
Yes,
so it's not ended still. Yellow flag sector 1, it's Kruchy. It was Kruchy, but I don't know what did he do. He's going in that last, he got lapped by both Williams. But he's still going in the points, so if he can finish this race, he's gonna get 2 points.
Has a 3-second penalty at the moment. He's got one.
Okay.
2. He's got 6 seconds at the moment. Young Lights has got a 3-second.
Okay.
At the moment.
So it hasn't been done yet.
Sweet Crown does have that 5-second penalty.
Yeah, so it may change, but if you will look at how is he gaining on his teammate, who is coming into the pits, probably onto softs.
Yes, he is.
Yes, because he started on mediums, so he has to go into the pits.
Oh
Same
yeah,
as
yeah.
Ferry.
It's rules and regulation. Yes, of course. Yeah. He'll get DQ double. He'll get a disqualification if he doesn't finish the race on another compound. I forgot about that rule.
Ferry follows the Williams. And so in this situation we've got Trilstow Pro.
Not Ferrari. Just to let you know.
Okay, so sorry.
That's that's fine. That's fine. You know, it's still the same. It's still in the Ferrari team, but
it looks similar. Okay.
Yes, it does look similar. Yeah. Well, the Toro Rosso, 20 laps on the hards. Really?
Yes, 20 laps.
That's amazing. 20 laps.
If he can make 8 more, he still may get a podium here, because Ferry.
I think he can. I think he can finish on those easily.
Yeah, it's 28 laps. It's not that much.
38, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 7 laps to go. 7, 6,
Yeah,
7, 8, something like that. So.
Yeah, so we'll now be have Ferry and Young Lights pushing. Ferry is really close to Jonathan.
Young Lights just got another 3-second penalty. He's just picked up another one.
Yes, and Jonathan goes into the pits, and he hits the wall of champions, and he damages his front wing.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of damage.
And so Jonathan is in the pits. He
Jonathan's
also changes his front wing.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's gone on to softs.
Of course, and he's now gonna pushing. He has already lost his second place, so we will see how far can he. What positions can he finish in? Is it correct? I don't think so, but.
Has he got any penalty?
Young Lights, meanwhile, is really close to 3D Stop Pro. He's gonna have DRS on the back straight, but the advantage of his tires is huge. That's for sure. He's now opening the DRS, and it's gonna be very easy. Yeah, he has already passed the Toro Rosso, and now into the chicane they go, and Williams 1-2 again, and Sweet Crown is in the pits.
Yeah.
So. Is he gonna come out behind his teammate? No, he's gonna be just
Jonathan has only 1 3-second time penalty.
Yes, but at the moment he's losing 16 seconds to Jim Stroh. Look at the yellow flag, it's Kruche again.
Someone's lost it in sector 1.
It was Kruche again. He's still going in P9, so still 2 points for McLaren here.
The Red Bulls are still in it.
Yes, P5
1 Alpha,
and P8.
1 Toro Rosso, 2 Williams, 1 McLaren.
And 1 Mercedes still on P7.
Mercedes still running. Oh yeah, the Mercedes is still running. Oh, of course he is. There he is, in 7th, yeah. Oh, we lost the Ferrari.
Yeah, he spun on the last chicane of sector 2.
He'll probably get a point anyway because he's in 10th. Seb, Sealhammer, Freak, Chris and Kevin. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's lost 4. Yeah. He lost 4 drivers. Yellow flag in sector 1.
Kruche, but he was letting it was Ferry by because he's
5
getting
laps to go. Oh, Jonathan's just picked up another one. He's just picked up another 3-second time penalty. That's 6 seconds.
Yeah, but and how many penalties has got Jim Stroh? Can you check it?
James, I will check. Well, Jim Strab's got a 5-second penalty because he collided with Sevilla. So that's 1. Just checking out. He's got a 10-second time penalty because he's exceeded track limits. So he's got 2 at the moment. I'm just looking. Sevilla's got 1. Jim Strab.
Sweet Crown with the fastest lap of the race, 1:10.3. And so 5 laps to go.
Just checking if he's got more. No, he looks like he's got 10. He's got 10 seconds.
So he's still ahead of Jonathan.
Yeah. 1:10.3. And who said that?
Yeah. And we still may have a battle here for the podium. Ferry is chasing down Trill Stopro. Trill Stopro, it looks like he's now struggling really much on his tires. He has got 24 laps on these hards, and so Ferry is now really close to him, and Tristopro slides on the exit of this hairpin, and so Ferry is now gonna have...
for crossing the pit lane the wrong way. which I've never seen before, which is weird.
Tristopro meanwhile defends brilliantly of Ferry into the last chicane. Now they are going into turn 1. Ferry has got the inside line, but is he able to get on top of Tristopro? Yes, he is. And so he gets a P3, but he now has to make an impossible job. An impossible job to get away of Tristopro, not to getting overtaken because of the penalties. Yes, and as you said, we've got the 3 laps to go. And Sweet Crown peacefully leading this Grand Prix.
2 safety cars, I believe.
Yes, there were 2 safety cars.
Oh, there was 2, okay.
Yellow flag sector 2 is Kruche again. He's on the grass. Not the best pace, but he will still get 2 points.
He seems to be struggling a little bit. I know this is quite a tricky circuit to master, but once you've got it, he's gone wide. Yeah, but again, he'll finish in the points. He'll be okay. I know he's a couple of laps down, but 2 laps to go.
But it's still better than Sepp, for example.
Points are better than nothing than getting a DNF. Jim Straff just picked up another 3-second time penalty, so now his penalties have now gone up to 13.
Yeah, so it may get interesting. Jonathan is
5th,
8
6th,
seconds
7th,
behind.
8th and 9th are all going to be interesting. It all depends on it all depends on penalties.
Yes, Kruche gets into the pit lane.
He's coming in.
So he's gonna feed the softs for the last 2 laps.
Oh, he's got wing damage. He's got a new nose as well.
He fitted hards, actually.
He's fitted, correction, he has fitted hards and he had a new nose change.
Yes.
So he had a new nose. As Sweet Crown comes round to complete lap 34. 1 lap of Montreal to finish.
Quite close.
Very close.
Only the ocean and some countries.
So far, I'm impressed by Ferry finishing 3rd. There's a possibility he could be a bit lower than that. It all depends on penalties now. It depends if any more get picked up. Yeah, but this is an easy circuit. This is quite an easy track to pick up penalties on.
Yes, you have many chicanes here, so any cut
just look up
here.
Look up to Sebastian Vettel.
Yes, exactly. It's really easy, especially
Jonathan's just picked up another one. So has Ferry's picked up another. No! Wow!
He has to push. He has got 1 more lap to go. He has to make everything.
He's got his final. He's just crossing the line now for his final lap of Montreal, Gilles Villeneuve circuit in Montreal, Canada, named after Jacques Villeneuve's dad, obviously. For some of those Formula 1 people that did not know that.
Gilles Villeneuve, one of the best drivers never to win a championship.
1997. Took it to the final race in Jerez
I'm telling
Spain.
about Gilles Villeneuve.
Oh yeah, correct. Yes, yeah. I don't know when he won it, but I know his son won it in '97.
Jacques, yes, 97.
Yeah, I should know because that was in Jerez. I know Gilles definitely won it. Yeah, and the circuit was renamed in his honour.
Yes, because he died in the crash.
Sweet Crown is now coming down the back straight to win the Canadian Grand Prix here at the Gilles Villeneuve circuit in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Congratulations, Young Lights will finish 2nd, Ferry 3rd, Phil So Pro 4th, Jim Straff 5th, Jonathan 6th, Severe 7th, Maverick will 8, and Country will finish 9, and Sweet Crown has 1.
Yes, and Sweet Crown, another remarkable drive. Yeah, Williams 1-2, because Young Lights comes home.
He will increase his points, his championship lead.
Yes.
By 26.
And now Ferry crosses the line. And now we are waiting for Trilstopro. Is he gonna be able to finish third? No! 9/10 of a second!
Wow, that's close.
Unfortunately, that was close,
That's close.
And same, Jim Stroh and Jonathan are finishing in this order, and we are still waiting.
Severe's just coming round round sector 2 now. He's just coming down sector 3. He is the last car to finish. He's just coming down the back straight.
Yes, one more chicane, and the Canadian Grand Prix will be over.
And the Wall of Champions, just to keep it clean, he crosses the line and he will finish P7.
Here we go! And so that's all for the Canadian Grand Prix. We are waiting for the podium. Here we
Williams
have
1-2.
Williams 1-2.
Oh, Ferry did get third. Wow.
Yeah, 9/10 ahead of Trilstopro.
God, if he picked up one more penalty, then he would have probably been in trouble. So it's a Williams 1-2 with Alfa Romeo in third. Congratulations to those top 3. Massive.
Yeah, they are getting the
positions. That's up to you.
Yeah, so Sweet Crown finishes in first, of course, and he also gets the fastest lap of the race. I think so. Yes, he is.
Yes, he did.
Behind him, of course, Young Lights, Williams 1-2, as we said. In third place, we've got Ferry in Alpha, so it's also a nice result for him. 4 positions up from the start. Trilstopro with very good drive on these hards throughout the whole race, to be honest. Then we've got Jim Stroh, Jonathan Cox, Sever, Maverick, and Kruchy is the last one to finish this race. And the rest of the grid is Carly Red, Sepp, Sionhammer, Frekis, and Tonduk in the last place. Unfortunately for him, he didn't finish his home Grand Prix. Yeah, so I think that's all for the Canadian Grand Prix here in ERL. So thank you for joining us. My name is GNIEVKO. I was joined today here with
PRT Schumacher, the birthday boy, and we'll see you
next week, or
next
not
week.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone.
Just checking where we are.
Okay.
So they know if I can find it.
Isn't it Austria?
Austria. It must be Austria. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll be at Red Bull's home track, so that's going to be an advantage for them. So until then, we will see you at Spielberg in Austria. Until then, it's a very good afternoon from me, and a very good afternoon from everybody here at ERL. And please stay safe.
Yes, stay safe, stay at home, and thank you for joining us. And goodbye.
Goodbye.